instantly fall in love with the S13 the same way that I have with other cars. My friends had told me a bit about them, but I didn't really see the appeal. One day I got home and there was this S13 parked out the front of my neighbour's house. So I left a note on the windscreen asking if the owner wanted to sell the car. I got a text a few days later saying that the car wasn't for sale, but perhaps it would be at some point in the future. So I basically just assumed that I would never hear from them again. To my surprise, a year later, I did get a text. The car was for sale, so I went over and had a look at the car. The owner was elderly, so I didn't look up close to the car, but I made an offer and she accepted. So I took the car home and parked it at my house. A year later I went to register the car, and when I looked over the car, I saw that it had a lot of problems. It had a cracked windscreen, a cracked headlight, no seatbelt in the rear. It had worn suspension bushes, a leaking brake master. The exhaust was a terrible aftermarket one that had almost completely rusted away. The radio had no reception. It had an aftermarket sports steering wheel, which wasn't to my taste. Fuel was leaking from the injectors. The boot was full of water, and it took me weeks to fix all of those problems. The problem that got to me the most was the faulty speedo. I found an old GPS and used that as a speedo. A friend of mine said to me, "Don't leave the GPS in your car because someone will break in and steal it." I really wasn't concerned, and I told him that no one steals GPSs anymore. And it was only a few days later that someone broke into my car, smashed up all the locks, and stole the GPS. So at this point my suspicions were confirmed. The S13 sucked. It had spent most of its time parked in my driveway, not being used. I planned to sell the car, so I fixed it all up, and I drove it around for a couple of weeks before putting it on the market. But in those couple of weeks, I found some things that I really enjoyed about the car. The Silvia was released in 1988, and there were two models. In Japan they were known as the Silvia and the 180SX. The Silvia had fixed headlights and the 180SX had pop-up lights. It was a pretty advanced car for its time. When it was released, it had a 1.8 litre 4-cylinder motor called the CA18. The motor came turbo and non-turbo, and there was an option for automatic and manual gearboxes. In 1991, they upgraded to the 2-litre 4-cylinder SR20. Again, it came out as a non-turbo or a turbo, and came with an automatic or a manual transmission. I've got the non-turbo CA18 with an automatic transmission. It's the worst combination and it sucks. There was a wide range of options when the S13 came out. This one's got all the features that I need. Electric windows, climate control, which is awesome, electric mirrors, central locking, but it doesn't have ABS and it doesn't have an airbag. But I don't think I need those. You know, so what? A modern economy car has got all these features plus even more. I think people put up with these old cars that just fall apart and cost heaps of money because they're really fun to drive. The car's built on an FR platform, which means the motor's in the front and it's rear-wheel drive. It's got McPherson struts in the front and Nissan multi-link suspension in the rear, and there was even an optional LSD. The car was made as a sports car. It was made to go out there and drive it fast and have a fun time. At the moment, the car understeers a little bit, but I hope to fix that with some bolt-on aftermarket suspension upgrades. Getting in and out of the car is a part of the experience. I think that any real car enthusiast has to love a two-door. I just love opening up the doors when the windows are wound down and getting in and out of the car. The driving position is quite comfortable. You're sitting down low, you feel a connection to the ground and to the car, but the rear seats, they're too small for adults to sit in them. Cars like this aren't made very often, and when they are, people love them for decades. This car's around 25 years old now, and I've got some mods planned for it, so hit subscribe and watch the rest of the videos.